Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors are Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me today, and this is an update coming from London. Thank you to Dave Nathan for his coverage from some of the scenes, and for everybody that sent me the stories to react to. I'm going to start with the most recent story and work my way backwards for the past week. The first story is about 19 people being arrested, and the Metropolitan Police have said that it occurred in Tower Hamlets in early morning drugs raids. They said that they found a large quantity of Class A drugs and also money has been seized in a series of dawn raids. The warrants were part of Operation Continuum, which they say is an intelligence-led phased operation established in response to ongoing reports of drug dealing and drug use in Tower Hamlets and Hackney. On October the 13th, the raids were part of the third successful day of action for ongoing efforts to suppress drug supply and violence in the east of London. The 19 men that was arrested were aged in their 20s and 30s for a series of offences that included conspiracy to supply Class A drugs and possession with intent to supply Class A drugs, and also money laundering. During the operation, police seized approximately 2 kilos of Class A drugs, namely cocaine, and £120,000 in cash and £100,000 worth of assets linked to a money laundering operation, and one of these was a £50,000 car. Detective Inspector Sean Loynes said that the morning warrants were another strong message to those involved in drug-related criminality and our commitment to tackling the issue. We know that drugs are linked to crime, county lines and also gang violence. And these raids also included the Violence Suppression Unit. There is a dedicated ward of officers along with the Neighbourhood Task Force. And they released a series of images for the media to be able to give context to what they found. And in some other news coming from East London as well, there was a triple shooting on Friday the 8th of October. At 7 PM, police were called to reports of 3 people shot on Upton Lane in E7. A number of suspects fired shots into a barber shop and injured 3 males, and moments later stabbed one of the victims also. Police attended and administered first aid, and he was taken by an ambulance to the hospital where he remains in a critical condition. The male who was severely injured is 22 years old and sustained gunshot and stab wounds. The 2 other victims also remain in hospital, but neither of them are in a life-threatening condition. Car believed to have been used by the suspects, a silver Audi A7, was abandoned on Devon Day Road, E15, and the crime scene remains in place on Upton Road and also Devon Day, and forensic work is ongoing. DS Matt Freeman from Specialist Crime London said, "The use of a firearm last night in the crowded part of Newham was callous and reckless, and they are determined to find out who is responsible and bring them to justice." They go on to say they believe the gunman made off in a black Audi A7 and it was found abandoned later on. A Section 60 is in order around Newham, which means they can stop and search anybody, and it applies up until 3 PM on Saturday the 9th of October. I received local footage when this scene actually broke, and Dave went down to the scene to find out what was actually happening the day after. And as of yet, nobody has been arrested or charged in connection with them 3 shootings. Keep you updated on both of them stories. And in some other news coming from London as well, the Evening Standard newspaper has reported that an 18-year-old Afghan refugee named Hazrat Wali was stabbed to death in Twickenham at 4:45 on Tuesday the 12th of October. Police were called to reports of a stabbing at Craneford Way, Twickenham, and officers and ambulance attended and found an 18-year-old believed to have suffered knife wounds. He was taken to an outer London hospital where he was pronounced dead at 5:54. His next of kin have been informed and have been supported by specialist officers. The newspaper The Evening Standard goes on to say that a relative living in Stanmore told the newspaper that Hazrat was a very good boy. He came here to study 2 years ago, and all of his family are back in Afghanistan. Hazrat was from the Notting Hill area and he lived on his own. He was stabbed on a sports field in front of Year 8 school children, and the teacher ran over to give him CPR in a desperate attempt to save his life. The 18-year-old was attacked during a fight on a footbridge before staggering and collapsing on the playing field in Craneford Way. The teacher shielded the Year 8 pupils that were 12 and 13 who had been playing rugby nearby, and then he went on to tend to the victim, and the pupils were in tears as they witnessed the horror. The 18-year-old is the 25th teenager to be murdered in London in 2021. Hazrat attended the nearby college, Richmond upon Thames. And detectives have said that people filmed the attack and they've asked that it's not shared on social media. A witness told the newspaper that her 13-year-old son had seen the victim fall to the ground. She goes on to say that the victim and the suspects were arguing for a while and the teacher realised what was going on and moved the younger kids away from them. The older boys kept walking up to the bridge where the row was carrying on and the teacher went over, the boys scarpered and the other boy dropped to the ground. The teacher was the first to realise that he'd been stabbed. The woman goes on to tell the Evening Standard that the teacher did an amazing job and my son is petrified of knives and he is level-headed and okay. Another witness told the newspaper that the teacher was in a rugby kit and he was trying to give the boy CPR. There was 2 girls next to him and they were crying. He was a real hero. It was a terrible scene. 5 minutes before the incident, a group of noisy kids came across the field and the next thing they knew, all hell broke loose. The playing field is now a crime scene with 2 tents and a cordon in place. There have been no arrests so far. The murder happened in Richmond, one of London's safest boroughs, and police on Wednesday evening named Mr. Wali as the victim of the attack and confirmed that he was a student at the nearby college. Police also said that they were trying to establish the motive for the attack and were supporting Mr. Wali's family in the coming days. And there was a lot of witnesses at the time to see what happened. The principal of the school paid respects and said our thoughts and prayers are with the student's family at this difficult time and that this loss is sure to raise many emotions, concerns and questions for our students, parents, staff and the community. We have implemented an emergency response plan and will provide any assistance to students in the coming days in relation to the experience of the death. So that is terrible news to be coming from Richmond and my condolences to the family of Hazrat, and we'll definitely follow that story until its conclusion. I really appreciate you joining me today. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe and I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Peace.